Are you gonna really let your feelings hold you back from your true potential? Are you gonna let your feelings hinder you from opportunities? Are you gonna let your feelings or whatever it is you're going through set you back to a million miles or put you in a place where you can't move at all? Basically, it's one of those videos where you can't let your feelings get in the way. Just it's one of those things where you kind of want to go into making a change, and you want to seek something that's different for yourself. You want to actually get yourself to a certain point, but you can't let your own self be your own villain. And it's one of those things where hell, I'm even learning this myself. Yeah, it's a brand new year, and you want to create a new journey for yourself, and you really can't let yourself get in your own way. That's one of the things that I've been teaching myself recently, and just finding little habits and stuff like that of being more of the person that I need to be on a consistent basis, not when I have the energy or when I feel like it, but when you have that mindset is always there. And that's why I kind of aim towards mental health. And, in a way of this channel, I'm kind of speaking to myself as well because, mental health is very important. A lot of people don't take it for, a lot of people take it for granted. We just get so caught up in the work and just the idea of just getting stuff done and wanting to feel accomplished, but, not really like diving deep within ourselves and figure out what is holding ourselves back. And or we try to create like a whole lot of issues in our lives, like, oh, we're going through so much stuff and dealing with a lot, but then we don't realize like we're just creating problems in our own head, and then we're like fulfilling those problems just throughout the day. But then you won't see it because your own brain is tricking you. And when your own brain is tricking you, I think that's one of the worst things to deal with. It's like dealing with, you know, Venom, a darker side or something like that of your other half. Like you are constantly going back and forth and resulting in you making a lot of simple decisions complicated. A lot of easy decisions like obviously say for example like you're on a diet, or you need to be somewhere on time. And the smart thing to do, the more common sense thing to do is to be somewhere on time. I don't know, wake up a little bit more earlier, go somewhere, just be at the place at whatever time you need to be. If you got to be at work at like 10 or something like that, and then maybe wake up 7 o'clock or something like that. Don't wake up at fucking 8 o'clock or 8:30 ish, and then try to be pushing and going to work, and then knowing you got traffic and shit, and then it's like, oh my god, I'm over here straight. It's easier just to be up at 7 or a little bit earlier than that so you can get more stuff done and have more structure, and instead of just waiting and just trying to move as you used to move, because it's obviously not working. If you keep doing the same thing and the same attempts of it to work, you're just gambling at that point. And obviously when you gamble, it's just like this dopamine rush, just like sometimes you're going to get in, sometimes you don't. But when you don't get it, it's like the worst feeling ever. It's like you just literally put, your whole savings on that bet. You literally put your whole, your everything that you put on the line was just in that bet, and it's just like the worst feeling because it just doesn't work out, and you end up losing a lot. You lose opportunities, you lose chances, trust, and connections with people, and especially work in an environment where people like know like those habits and stuff like that. They will pick up on that in a heartbeat and we'll be like, okay, like maybe this guy isn't what he's supposed to be, or is what he meant to be, working here. And so taking the easier route is it's easy, but sometimes when your mind is working against you, it make the easy decisions more complicated than what it needs to be. Same thing goes with the diet. When you're on a diet, obviously if you have to stay locked in for a majority of the week, and then you can go on to have that cheat day, maybe on a Friday or Saturday or something like that. Celebrate like how disciplined you've been throughout the week. It's a lot more beneficial. But if you cheat on your diet throughout the week, saying like, oh, I'm gonna just eat a little bit of chips and eat a little bit of this and that, and it's just, oh, I'm gonna snack on that a little bit. It won't hurt. I'm probably just gonna go for a walk or something like that, and just it won't do anything. Those little habits are informing you that it's okay to do so, and it makes it even harder for you to leave those habits where it's like it slowly will build up over through time, and it will get worse and worse and worse until you can't really do anything about it, and or it's just overwhelming. Of course you can do something about it, but And your mind's like, damn, I don't know what to do with this. It's like, I don't know why I keep showing up late, or I keep cheating on my diet, or I can't make up for this person, or I can't communicate, or I can't do this and can't do that. And it feels like every little small decision you're making is complicated when it shouldn't be. It should just be you trusting yourself in the process and wanting to be the best what you can be, and just trusting yourself. And because eventually when you make all these bad decisions, like, you end up losing faith in yourself. You may not know it, but you can feel a difference, like a shift in yourself, where you don't walk as confidently as you used to. You don't believe in yourself as you used to. You don't think the same as you used to. It's just like you always compare yourself to your younger self, and you think like, oh, okay, maybe this is just how it is, and there's nothing I can do. And the longer you let these problems sit, the more and more they work against you. And unfortunately, they're not just little bad habits. They became an essential part of your character. And when something happens like that, it's like getting a tattoo off. It's going to be, of course, it's possible, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult than what it should be. And it's just those small habits, those breaking blocks really go a long way. And just being mindful of that, because it's like little stuff like that really holds you back from a lot of potential. Like I was saying, it's crazy how that stuff works. And reading Atomic Habits, crazy when I'm being around 26 and stuff like that. I really love reading books. Obviously, I read articles and I read a whole bunch of stuff on Chat GPT and summaries and all kinds of stuff. But reading comic books, obviously, mangas too. But reading this book is probably one of the best experiences I've ever had. Of course, just listening to people on podcasts too on YouTube, but just reading this book and really just trying to buckle down and fix habits and stuff like that of mine, because I'm not a perfect person. I'm very honest with myself. I've never been like, oh yeah, like I got it all. I don't need no help. Like I know it all. I'm a fixed mindset type of person. No, I'm well aware that I have issues, and I'm willing to work on them. It's just the patience you got to have with yourself, and I have to have with myself, because I'm patient with some things, but when it comes to myself, it's like, here we go with this dumb shit again. Like, instead of having like, oh, this problem, I got this. Let's do this. I've been through it. Let's go. My mindset would be like, man, we gotta deal with this dumb ass shit again, bro. Fuck, come on, man. This is your fifth time this week doing this dumb shit. It starts building up, and it starts, eating away at your confidence and stuff like that. And, it just becomes an essential part of who you are. And then the worst thing about dealing with issues that you're going through is when people call you out on it. I think when people call you out on showing, not being on your diet, showing up late, or coming up with excuses or something like that, I think that's like probably the worst thing ever, because especially like when you're in a position like a higher position where people expect a lot, of course, being a man and stuff like that. Uh, there's no there's no way out. Every time you come up with an excuse, ain't like how it used to be when you was younger, where somebody can believe in it in a heartbeat, be like, "Oh man, I got you. It's understandable. Like, it's okay. Like, things happen. It's good. You're human. All that, yada. All that sympathy shit." No, as a guy, the moment you go through something or something happens, unless it's drastic, like some fucking emergency or something like that, people aren't going to be, understanding. They're going to be more hostile. They're going to be more on the side of like, damn, you should have. I thought you had it. You're the man. Figure that shit out. And you'll feel that shift too, or they'll talk to you a certain way in a certain tone where you don't really are able to like take care of yourself, or you're not capable of being a responsible adult or a man. And once people, especially like one second, once it's like two people trying to talk at the same time. Once when you're older, obviously, and you hold a lot of responsibility being an adult, it hits different. It's not like, you get left off the hook. No, it's just there are actual consequences towards things. Like you can lose positions, things can get taken away, you lose a job or something like that. It's not easy. It's not the same. It's not like you get like a little pat on the back or a slap on the wrist and kind of go on with your day. The stakes are a little bit more higher now, and everything is a little bit more serious, and they go, oh, you're an adult and you got to figure stuff out. And so, yeah, just basically, You know, you got to be able to solve your own problems and understand and work in a timely manner. If that means journaling and stuff like that, and researching, using Chat GPT, doing everything you can, understanding yourself, so you don't be stuck in one spot and create this illusion of a reality where you're not really getting anything done and you're not being the best version of yourself. And you know, just holding yourself back. I think that's like the worst feeling ever, personally, because it's just like, you know, you're capable of doing so many great things and so many amazing things, and you see yourself do it, and it's just to see yourself just kind of go down a certain path where it's just like it's not you, but it's like a weird little addiction. I don't like an addiction or habit. A habit and an addiction. Addiction is like, I'll say a habit where it's just like, you know, it becomes and it's like a part of you where, you know, you try to it takes everything out of you just to get rid of it, and it shouldn't be like that, especially if it's not good for you. Obviously, you know, but it's just you're so used to doing it, shutting it off is like trying to unplug a computer while it's hot. It's like it's not gonna, you know, not gonna be easy. But yeah, whatever you can do, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, it's you against you, and you know, you can't hold yourself back from opportunities because time is ticking. In 2026, we're getting older. We're really you know, just trying to get things going because time will fly by, opportunities will go by, and you know, you can't get in trouble or get in stupid stuff because of little goofy shit, like little dumb shit where like, oh, you can't do this one time, you can't show up, or you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't just be more responsible. It's just you don't have time for that. You really don't have time for that. It's you know, you're getting older, and obviously a lot of these things just cause more weight, more damage onto you, and you know, it's just not a good feeling to have. So whatever it takes, you know, to get better, whatever it takes. That's my mindset, and that's my motto. But thank you guys for listening. You guys take care, and you guys have a good one. Let me know in the comments if you guys read any good books, Atomic Habits, Superior. I forgot the name of the damn book, but Atomic Habits and How to Influence Friends and People. That's another good book I'm reading right now and listening to audiobook. But let me know in the comments if you guys can relate to all this. You guys have a good one, and take care. Peace.